In this video, we're going to look at some key words and phrases that you absolutely need to know if you're having online meetings in English so that you can participate like a pro. Let's get straight into it. Let's start with small talk. I think we all know that feeling when you sign into a meeting a couple minutes early and it's just you and one other person there. It can be a little awkward. So to break the ice and make some polite conversation, you can ask some good open-ended questions like, how's everything in New York? What's keeping you busy these days? Do you have any interesting projects on the horizon? Have you been following the... And then name maybe a global event or something important going on in your industry, for example. If you're the one leading the meeting, you need to say something to signal to the group that it's time to begin. And we usually start this with words like, okay, all right, followed by things like, it looks like everybody's here, so let's kick off. Shall we begin? It's 2 o'clock, so let's get started. Now, a frustrating part of online meetings is the tendency for people to talk over each other, even if they don't necessarily mean to interrupt. So when that happens, you can say something like, my apologies for interrupting. Go ahead, Teresa. Now, if you want to interrupt someone in face-to-face communication, you can do it more subtly with gestures or facial expressions, but in an online setting, you have to be a little more direct. It's always best to use the person's first name to get their attention in a polite way. For example, Martina, if I may, Kevin, can I jump in here for a second? Sorry to interrupt, but now if someone interrupts you, you can say, just let me finish my point here. I'm not quite finished. Or you can allow them to interrupt you by saying, go ahead. All right, guys, if you're finding this video helpful so far, give me some feedback by hitting the like button. And if you want more business English content like this, you can subscribe to my Instagram. I post exclusive lessons there every Monday just for subscribers. So go to my profile at English to Excel and click the subscribe button. All right, now if you're leading a meeting or presenting during a meeting and you need to pause to do something, like to get a file or to share your screen, communicate to the group what you're doing. Don't just go silent. For example, you can say things like, I'm going to share my screen now. Bear with me while I pull up the document. Give me a second. I'm going to check my Wi-Fi connection. Now, what would an online meeting be without some technical issues? If you run into a problem, you can say, apologies, I'm having some technical difficulties. There seems to be a problem with the connection on my end. When your video doesn't move due to a bad connection, we use the expression to be frozen. So we say, for example, the screen is frozen, or John, you're frozen. Of course, during online meetings, we often have audio issues, which make it hard for people to hear each other or even understand what others are saying. So when that happens and you need to ask someone to repeat themselves, you can say things like, I didn't catch that. Can you say that again? Can you speak up a little? We can't hear you. Can you come closer to the microphone? If there's a lot of noise where you are, you can say, excuse the background noise. If someone's microphone is off, you can say, you're on mute, or sorry, I was on mute. And when you can only hear parts of what someone is saying because the connection is interrupted, we use the expression to break up. So you could say to them, you're breaking up. Now, if someone's unexpectedly disconnected from the meeting, we say that we've lost that person. Did we lose Andrew? You can also ask if the person is still there. Are you there, Carla? If everything's back to normal, then you can say, oh, Andrew's back. Yes, we can hear you now. If the meeting is taking longer than planned and you need to leave before it's finished, you can say, sorry, I have a hard stop at 2 o'clock. I need to go. Or more informally, you can say, sorry guys, I gotta jump or I gotta drop. Now, when the meeting is ending, before you sign off, it's good business etiquette to thank everyone and say goodbye. Don't just sign off without saying anything. So you can say, thank you everyone, bye, have a nice weekend, thanks all, have a good one, cheers. All right, guys, I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope that you put these words and phrases into use in your very next online meeting. So these were all some of the right things to say, but what about some of the wrong things to say in business English? Well, check out this video right here for 7 of the most common English mistakes that I see in the workplace. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you there next.